Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, ForTheV, back once again in Magic the Gathering Arena. I've got an interesting one for you today, as I probably won't be able to play any battles in this episode, as this is going to be a pack opening episode. Why a pack opening episode? Well, you see, I right now have a bunch of packs. Now, I did just remember that I adjusted my audio settings to reduce some music, so we'll turn that up a little bit in case the music wants to come on. So I've got 5 Core 2021 packs to open, and then 2 Zendikar Rising packs. Hopefully we get something good. Really what we're after is these rare and uncommon wild cards. And maybe we might get a Mythic Rare uncommon wild card by the end of this. We have Defiant Strike, target creature gets +1/+0, and draw a card. Radiant Fountain, when it enters the battlefield, gain 2 life. Celestial Enforcer, it's got an ability with one colorless, 1 white. Tap target creature, and activate this ability only if you control a creature with flying. We have Duress. Target opponent reveals their hand. You may choose a non-creature, non-land card from it. That player discards that card. When Daybreak Charger enters the battlefield, target creature gets +2/+0 until the end of the turn. Sanctum of Shattered Heights. Pay 1, discard a land card or shrine card, and Sanctum of the Shattered Heights deals X damage to target creature planeswalker, where X is the number of shrines you control. Pestilent Haze. Choose 1. All creatures get -2 until the end of the turn, or remove 2 loyalty counters from each planeswalker. And a rare Mythic Wild card. This is absolutely amazing, as it allows me to pick any Mythic Rare to add to my deck. That's massive. That's huge. That's so useful. That will allow me to, I think, really make this deck that I have work really, really well. Next up, Core 2021. Brand new, we've got Snare Spinner. Reach, whenever it blocks a creature with flying, it gets +2/+0. Sanguine Indulgence. This costs 3 less to cast if you gain 3 or more life this turn. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Shock deals 2 damage to any target. Thrill of Possibility. At an additional cost to cast a spell, discard a card, draw 2. That's actually kind of bad. Opt is way better than this, really. Turn to Slag. It deals 5 damage to target creature, destroy all equipment attached to that creature. Selfless Savior. Another target creature you control gains indestructible until the end of the turn. Conclave Mentor. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters would be put on a creature you control, that many +1/+1 counters are put on that creature instead. When Conclave Mentor dies, you gain life equal to its power. And lastly, Pursued Whale. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent creates a 1/1 red pirate creature token with "This creature can't block," and creatures you control attack each combat if able. Spells your opponents cast that target Pursued Whale costs 3 more to cast. Next, another Core 2021 pack. Alright, we've got Anointed Croisner, Lifelink. It gets +3/+3 at the cost of 3 colorless, 1 white. 4 colorless, 1 white. Sorry. We've got Spellgorger Weird. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Spellgorger Weird. Mistral Singer, Flying and Power S. Colossal Dreadmaw with Trample. Dub. It's an enchantment. that a creature gets +2/+2, has first strike, and is a knight in addition to its other types. Light Promise. Enchant creature. Enchant creature has whenever you gain life, put that many +1/+1 counters on this creature. And Unsubstantiate. Return target creature or target spell or creature to its owner's hand. This is like an unsummon or a stir and dismissal. It costs 2 mana though. Conspicuous Snoop. Play with the top card of your library revealed. You may cast goblin spells from the top of your library, as long as the top card of your library is a goblin card. Conspicuous Snoop has all activated abilities of that card. Ooh, that's really good. These common and uncommon wild cards, these are arguably better than any card because they can be any card that I need to be. Llanowar Visionary. Enters the battlefield, I draw a card. Pride Malakin. When it enters the battlefield, put +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has trample. That's incredible. Shock. Deals 2 damage. Short Sword. Gets +1/+1 with an equipped cost of 1. Chrome Replicator. When it enters the battlefield, if you control 2 or more non-land, non-token permanents with the same name as one another, create a 4/4 colorless construct artifact creature token. Pack Leader. Other dogs you control get +1/+1 whenever Pack Leader attacks. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn to dogs you control. That's nice. That's for a dog deck. Last Core 2021 pack. We get Voldian Arcanist. Tap to add colorless. Spend this mana only to cast an instant or sorcery spell. That's a little bit of mana ramp. Kind of. Sabertooth Maw. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Sabertooth Maw and untap it. Opt. Scry 1, draw a card. Whenever Library Lancius attacks, draw a card. A common wild card. Furious Rise. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card until you exile another card with Furious Rise. Twin Blade Assassins. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, draw a card. Subira Tudzari Caravaner. Haste. Pay 1. Another target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. 1 colorless, 1 red, and tap to discard my hand until the end of the turn. Whenever a creature you control with power 2 or less deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Alright, and now we get back into the Zendikar packs. We'll open this first one to an Anti-Cognition, which I use a lot and won't explain. We get Gruul draws Mucklord. When it dies, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Oblivion's Hunger. It's a new one. Target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. Draw a card if that creature has a +1/+1 counter on it. That's cheap indestructible token. Practice Tactics. Choose target attacking or blocking creature. It deals damage to that creature equal to twice the number of creatures in your party. Your party can consist of till one of each cleric, rogue, warrior, and wizard. Reclaim the Waste. With a kicker of 3. Search your library for basic land and reveal it, put it into your hand. Then shuffle your library. If this spell was kicked, search your library for 2 basic cards instead of 1. That's not that great. The non-kicked version might be better. Actually, yeah, because it puts it into your hand rather than onto the battlefield. Alright, next, Thundering Spark Mage. When it enters the battlefield, deal X damage to target creature or planeswalker, where X is the number of creatures in your party. And then Song Mad Treachery or Song Mad Ruin. Song Mad Ruins enters the battlefield tap and tap for 1 red mana. On the opposite side, it's a sorcery. This is gain control of target creature until the end of the turn. Untap that creature, it gains haste until the end of the turn. And my middle card is Maul of the Skyclaves. When it enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has flying and first strike. Equip cost of 2 colorless, 2 white. However, again, it gets attached when it's played. So it only loses if its equip cost only comes into play if the creature it's attached to dies or something, or gets unsummoned, or whatever. Lastly, one more Zendikar pack, and then I'm gonna have to call it good for the day. Unfortunately. So let's hop right into it. We get Utility Knife. When it enters the battlefield, attached to target creature you control, it gets +1/+1. With equip cost of 3. Practice Tactics. Choose target attacking or blocking creature. It deals damage to that creature equal to twice the number of creatures in your party. To be honest, I don't really make parties much, so that's not really useful. I don't use clerics, rogues, warriors, or wizards, so to me it's not that useful. Scorch Rider. With a kicker of 1 colorless, 1 red. When it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, it gains haste. That's kind of bad, but not terrible, because it's a decent card. It's a 4/3. But I'm not really using a red deck right now. Smite the Monstrous. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. It's kind of not great, because there are better control cards for cheaper. Turntimber Ascentic. When it enters the battlefield, gain 3 life. That's not bad. Black Bloom Rogue. It gets +3/+0 as long as its opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard. It enters the battlefield tapped as a land. And an uncommon wild card. We are all the way up to 2 common, 3 uncommon, 1 rare, and 1 mythic rare wild cards. And our middle card is, hopefully it's another mythic rare, but I'd also be happy with just a normal rare. It's a rare card. Coral Helm Chronicler, Merfolk Wizard. Whenever you cast a kick spell, draw a card. Then, discard a card. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a card with a kicker ability from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of your library in a random order. I don't really use kicker cards, unfortunately. I think the only kicker spell I have is... what would it be? My only kicker spell would be that, Mending Cacophony, though I'm about to add another one to the deck. Unfortunately, I am all out of time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know these card pack openings can be a little bit boring, but thank you anyway for watching and leaving a like and subscribing. Anyways, guys, that's all I have time for. I'll see you guys later.